What's up, guys? It's DCRYPT back with another video, and today we're back on a boot camp. Nah, I'm just whatever. Yo, it is episode 10. We are 10 episodes into the boot camp, so if you have been here for a minute, go ahead and drop a like, applaud yourself, pat yourself in the back. There's still a lot of information that we got to get through. 10 episodes in, I'm starting to think that this is probably going to last a lot longer than a month or two. It's genuinely a lot of information that I want to give you guys. And today, I want to go over news. All right. Because a lot of people always ask me, everybody always asks me, when should I be taking trades? When is there volume? What is volume? Da 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 da. And I am here to let you know that it's simple. The volume you're looking for is all in economic news, right? I use a website called Forex Factory. Here you can see that I have news for whatever, right? We have pre-market news on Thursday, okay? So what I want you guys to know, and the way I want you guys to start thinking now is what the news is no longer matters. I have a lot of people always tell me, "Oh shoot, Apple just unemployed this many people, Amazon just unemployed." That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is economic news. Okay. The reason that is because regardless of what I think about the market, regardless of what I think about the news, it's like my little $25,000, $50,000 is not going to move the market, right? The banks, billionaires, hedge funds, these big players, they move the market. They're the ones that are in control. And what matters to them is economic news, stuff like interest rates, PMI, unemployment claims, stuff like this that actually drives economics, stuff that drives, money throughout the markets. That stuff is what matters to them. Okay. So whatever matters to them is what we're going to pay attention to. But like I said, it doesn't matter what the news is. So today, I want you guys to understand this concept. It's not what the news is, it's when the news is. Because we know that the big players are paying attention to economical news, we know that we can expect volume at those times, right? So wouldn't it be better for us to wait to take day trades or swing trades based on the type of news that we have, right? And this is what Forex Factory does for us. It allows us to see when the news is going to be, because yes, it is important to understand the news, right? And we'll get into all the monetary policy stuff way down the line. But for now, I want you guys to know when the news is, because you guys want to start taking trades now. You don't necessarily care about the monetary policy, whatever, da da da, even though that's the most important part, right? But you guys want to take day trades. You guys want to know when the volume is, when is it going to step in, right? And this is exactly what you need, right? Here on Forex Factory, I'm going to show you guys my settings. A lot of people like using orange folders. And the reason I don't use orange folders is because they're not necessarily the highest volume, right? You might have, whatever this and that, but if it's orange folder, that means it's not high impact news, right? The color choices are based on impact news, right? The red folders are always going to be highest impact news, and that's what's going to be the most important, right? Do you think that the banks are really going to be paying attention to anything else besides the high impact news? No, none of that matters. They care about the stuff that's important to them, okay? A lot of people get that confused. Just use your common sense. It's not that difficult. It's the same thing as if, oh, 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time is when the market opens. Maybe 2 hours into the market around 11, 12 p.m. Do you think a billionaire is going to be sitting at his computer trying to day trade? No, he's going to be grabbing lunch. So why would you be day trading in the middle of the day when there's no news and no volume? Whatever. Maybe there's FOMC at 1:30 p.m. Maybe that's when you should be trading. Maybe then they will skip lunch and watch the FOMC meeting, whatever, to see what happens. You never know, right? Well, yes, you do, because you know when the news is, right? So you should be taking your trades around the time there is news. And I know a lot of you are thinking right now, okay, he's saying to take trades when there's news, but there's no news. Okay? This doesn't mean that, or whenever you don't have a red folder or no news, that doesn't mean that you don't take a trade, right? You still want to wake up every day. Remember, guys, consistency. You still want to wake up every day, You want to look at the market. You want to see if levels are being broken because volume can present itself even if there's no news. Okay. I'm not saying that there has to be news for you to take trades. I still want you to be active and looking at the markets. Don't build a habit of just, pulling up or whatever. There will be news on Thursday, obviously, but you still want to pay attention to the market. And if there's no moves, it's no volume. Okay, walk away. You save yourself a day. No trades, no nothing. You break even because remember, there's three things that can happen: you can win, break even, or lose. So if you're taking a trade when there's no volume and you lose, then that's why. But you should expect that, right? Tuesday, there's no news. I can expect there to be not that many trades, right? It might not be as uh volatile as we want it to, but that's just how it is. That's why it's important to understand when the news is, not what the news is, right? And I know a lot of you are thinking 7:30 in the morning, right? The market opens at 8:30 Central Time. Well, if you have 7:30 pre-market news, the market's going to move up or down in the morning before pre-market. So if you have a setup aligning with news, right? So Wednesday, we could probably look to swing something overnight if the setup aligns with it, right? So if I have a break of structure on larger time frames with the fair value gap and it's retesting Wednesday by close, okay, then I could likely take a trade here with proper risk, target previous highs, and swing it overnight for a potential gain. All right. So this is how you want to use Forex Factory. And then obviously there's news every other week. Next week is full of news. It's going to be FOMC. It's going to be a fun time, right? So it's just stuff to pay attention for you guys. This is how you want to use news. It's not about what the news is, it's about when. And this is when this is when you could expect volume. So tomorrow or Thursday, we could expect a move in the morning and volume 15 minutes after, right? And then we could be done. It's that simple. So it's really important to understand when news is so that way what's happening, right? So, like, for example, next week we have FOMC on Wednesday. And we all know that FOMC is the highest impact news that you can have because that's what controls interest rates, right? So, whatever they say is going to impact the market. So, you could probably expect Monday or Tuesday to be a little bit slower because banks, hedge funds, and billionaires are waiting for Wednesday to happen so that way they can see what's going on, right? So that's why it's super important to understand when the news is so that way you're not sitting there Monday and Tuesday like, oh crap, why is the market moving sideways? Why is it not going my way? This and that, da da da. This is your answer right here. Forex Factory, when the news is, and understanding what the news is, right? That'll come later on, like Jolt's job opening, advanced quarter GDP, quarter over quarter price index, core PCE price index, employment cost index, unemployment claims. You can click these folders and read them for yourself. It tells you what it is, why traders care, so it's like you can learn about these things on your own, like whatever. But that stuff really doesn't matter. It's just about when the news is because that's when volume is going to happen. Okay, so that's how you use Forex Factory. This is how you're going to use news to trade. Just remember, it's not what the news is, it's when the news is. I want you guys to get that stuck in your head because it doesn't matter what the news is. A lot of people are looking at the numbers like it applies to them. Like, you're not a bank, lil bro. You're just trying to trade with the bank. So if you're trying to make money, remember, it's us versus like other traders, right? If the banks know what they're doing, like if they know how this news is going to affect their money, maybe we should play with the banks, right? Maybe we should just be on their side because whenever the news happens and they make their move, then we can react and take a little bit of the chunk. It's like they're the sharks. We're just the fish under the shark, right? We're waiting for them to make their moves and then we make our moves based off their moves. Okay? It's that simple. So instead of us trying to be out here guessing, being looking for trades every day, it's like we can be sitting here taking trades with the big dogs and know exactly when they're getting into the market. All right. That's that right there. Forex Factory, you guys are welcome. Bang. Right. And one last thing, if you guys have stuck here with me to the end of the video and you guys are enjoying the boot camp, I would like to hear, some comments. I saw a lot of support in the first one. I just want to see if you guys are actually paying attention and listening to this information. And I want to see if it's actually helping you because this information is, really valuable. And I want people to become successful. I want you to become successful and make as much money and change your family's lives, everything and above. So Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, I mean, like, subscribe, obviously, comment, and just let me know. You know, I want to track your guys' progress, and I want to see who takes it there, who actually takes it there, because I know someone out of this boot camp is going to become a millionaire. There's just absolutely no way. If I was able to do it off of YouTube information as a kid, I guarantee with the information that I'm giving you right now, one of you, and if not a few of you, are going to make a lot of money with this information based off what you know. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate, this is going to help you. But yeah, I want to track that, and I truly do care about you guys, you know, becoming successful. That's why I want to do this. I'm passionate about it. You know, like, you guys truly do motivate me more than, you know, I motivate myself. Sometimes I don't have motivation, but I look at the chats, I look at the Discord, I look at social media, see your guys' comments, and I see you guys telling me, "Hey, I'm watching the boot camp." You know, that truly does mean a lot to me. So leave a comment if you're watching this. You know, um, and if not, then I'll catch you on the next video. You guys take care, man. I'm out of here.